The whole situation in Europe is of global concern. What we like to see is a European solution. I think what is required is real leadership here. Leadership that can provide a very, very comprehensive, convincing solution to the market, not a patch-up job, not something that you do just to rectify small problems.
It's fascinating. If you look at the same level of trade with the United States, Malaysian exports $26 billion to the U.S. in 2010, but a similar debt scenario, a $14 trillion debt mountain. Have you ever seen such a gulf between Democrats and Republicans, which is hindering not a raising of the debt ceiling only, but a real solution to the long-term debt?
There's a deep divide between Republicans and Democrats. Our sense is that they will raise the debt ceiling come the deadline, but the solution will be, a lot of horse trading, a lot of compromise will take place, and it's not really the kind of solution that gives you a sense of direction, clarity of direction, and effective long-term solution that's required.
You had growth of better than 7% in 2010, projections of 5 to 5.5%. Did the debt challenges in Europe and the U.S. threaten that target for 2011?
Put it this way, if nothing unforeseen happens, we should be able to get 6%, between 5 to 6%. But there are concerns, there are uncertainties. Things could happen that you don't expect, but barring something unforeseen, we should be able to get 5 to 6%.
We've seen a BERSIH movement in Malaysia this last week, and some 20,000 protesters under the umbrella of electoral reforms. But what's really behind this? Is this a generational gap? Why such a high level of protest?
Well, John, it's basically politics, because there is democracy in Malaysia, and we are committed towards electoral reform. I've come out to say that we are all for fair and clean election, and as you know, in the last general election, the ruling party lost 5 states, and we were deprived of 2/3 majority.
So 5 of 13 states overall.
5 of 13 states, and if not a fair, clean election, we wouldn't have lost 5 states. But we are committed to making it better.
Some would say you had 1,600 arrests of some 20,000 protesters. Are you satisfied with the security response to that particular round of protests yourself?
It was quite mild, because although they were taken in, but they were released after 8 hours, and they were treated very well. There was no undue use of force, and the demonstrators were dispersed using minimum force.
How does the new economic model fit into this, Prime Minister? You have a per capita income of around $9,000. You have aspirations by 2020 to get it to at least $15,000. Does that play into this whole effort?
We must be focused in terms of what we need to do. I'm very confident because we've got very, very concrete plans, to get there. It's just not something which is quite macro or quite abstract. It is something which is very, very specific. We have the numbers, we have the projects, we have the type of investment, and we have the number of jobs we want to create, and all these things are for real.